In this video, we'll be looking at the library's OneSearch feature. When you go to the Douglas College Library's homepage, you'll see the library's main search bar right at the top of the page. You'll see that it defaults to a search feature called OneSearch, which is the library's discovery layer. While this is often the first and maybe only library resource students use to do research for their assignments, it does have some disadvantages compared to other databases. Let's say we're researching the effect of climate change on health. When we search in the library's databases, it's important to use only keywords or phrases, not full sentences or questions. If you do begin your research with a search in OneSearch, a good idea is to start with only one of your keywords or phrases and then press search. To start my search, I'll try entering climate change into the search box. Then I'll hit search. This leads us to a search page with 3 search boxes that will allow us to enter our other keywords or phrases in separate boxes. If you're accessing OneSearch from off campus, you will be asked to log in at this point for full access to the library's databases. Once I get my initial list of results, I'll add health into the second search box and then search again. This gives us several thousand results. And now we can see if the keywords we chose are the best ones to use for this research topic. You'll see that our first result is an encyclopedia article. Encyclopedia articles are an excellent place to start if you're new to a topic and would like some background information. As I scroll through the first few articles, I'm looking at the article titles and the subjects listed. These will give me clues as to if I'm using the correct vocabulary and if my results are related to my topic. Looking through the listed subjects, I start to see that there is a subject term that combines my search terms. I'm going to use this subject to modify my search. I can continue to modify my search terms, or I can set some limits on my search first. On the left side of the screen, there is a Limit To menu. Using this menu, I can limit my results to only articles that the library currently holds in its collection by clicking on full text, or I can search for only books and ebooks by checking this box. I can also limit to only peer-reviewed, refereed scholarly resources. Check this box if your assignment requires academic articles. Additionally, I can add a date range to my results list, which is especially important for a topic like the one we're using in this video. You'll see that my results list contains resources published between 1600 and 2022. If you're researching a more recent topic, like the current climate change crisis, typically adding a 10 or even a 5-year range is a good idea. You'll also see there are different source types to choose from. If your assignment requires the use of a certain type of resource, you can choose to limit to those here. Let's look at newspaper articles that were published in the last 2 years. At this point, I still have almost 4,000 results, so I can continue to modify my search terms, or I can try adding a new search term to further narrow my research. I'm going to add a location to my search and look for resources about this topic specific to Canada. After adding Canada or Canadian to my search, I have to reselect that I only want newspaper articles. You'll see this really reduced my number of results, and this highlights one of the disadvantages of OneSearch, which is that much of the library's Canadian content isn't included there, and you'll likely miss out on hundreds or thousands of resources. If you'd like to focus on Canadian resources, you can go to the Articles and Databases tab and to the Databases A to Z page. On the left, there's a Popular Databases box where you'll find Canadian-focused databases like Canadian Newsstream, Canadian Points of View, and CBCA Complete. As you do your research and find articles that you may want to look at further, be sure to add them to a folder, which you can then email to yourself. To find out more information about an article, you can click on its title. In an article's record, you'll find information you need to cite the article and an abstract or a description of what the article is about. You'll also see some database tools, including print, email, and cite. The database-generated citation can be a good starting point for your citation, but please remember that your citations are your responsibility. and you must ensure they are correct before handing them in. For more citation resources, please check out the library's Cite Your Sources page. One last tool you can find in this database is the Ask Away widget. Ask Away is our virtual reference service, and when it is open, you simply type into the chat box where it says, "Type here to chat," and a librarian will answer you within about 60 seconds. If Ask Away is closed, its hours will be displayed in the box. The Douglas College Library has millions of resources for you to use for your Douglas College courses, many of which you can access online from your home. Please check out our videos and tutorials for more detailed instructions or contact a librarian for help.